Have you ever noticed how quietly time leaves its marks on us? One day you wake up, look at your reflection, and you realize things aren't quite the same. You're still you, the same voice, the same memories, the same spirit, but your body begins to send little signals you can't ignore. These changes often start after 70. They don't come all at once, but slowly, gently, they begin to shape the way you move, sleep, and even how you feel about yourself. In this video, we'll walk through the 7 hidden signs of aging after 70, the ones that most people overlook until they've already made a big impact. Some may sound familiar, others might surprise you, but by the end you'll understand your body in a whole new way. And more importantly, you'll learn what steps you can take to stay stronger, safer, and more confident in this stage of life. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. And if you've noticed any small changes in your body after 70, share them too. Your story might help someone else feel less alone. 1. Your balance isn't what it used to be. One of the first changes many people notice after 70 is balance. At first, it may not seem like much. You stand up a little too quickly and reach for the wall, or you bend down to tie your shoes and feel yourself sway. You tell yourself it's just a moment of tiredness, nothing serious. But when these moments start happening more often, it's your body's way of reminding you that things are changing. Balance is something most of us never think about until it begins to fade. Yet it is one of the most important signs of long-term health. When balance weakens, it doesn't just make you unsteady, it increases your risk of falling. And falls are the #1 cause of injuries in older adults, often leading to broken bones, long recoveries, and sometimes a loss of independence. Why does this happen? There are a few key reasons. Inside your inner ear, there's a small system that works like your body's natural compass, helping you stay upright. As we age, that system becomes less sensitive. At the same time, the muscles in your legs and core slowly weaken if they're not exercised regularly. And finally, the brain itself processes movement more slowly, so when you trip or stumble, it takes longer for your body to react. But here's the hopeful part, balance isn't gone forever. It can be improved, even after 70, with small, steady habits. Simple exercises make a big difference. Try standing near a counter and lifting one foot off the ground, holding it for a few seconds before switching to the other leg. Practice walking heel to toe across the room, just like you did as a child playing games. Gentle movements like Tai Chi or yoga are also wonderful for training the body to stay steady. Even small changes in daily life help. Wear supportive shoes instead of slippers that slip. Keep your home clear of clutter so there's less to trip over. And don't be embarrassed to use a cane or walker if your doctor recommends it. These tools aren't signs of weakness, but of wisdom, giving you more years of safe independence. 2. Your skin becomes a messenger of time. Your skin is more than just what you see in the mirror, it's the largest organ of your body, your first layer of protection against the world. After 70, it begins to change in ways that can feel surprising, even unsettling. Suddenly, a small bump leaves a dark bruise that takes weeks to fade. A tiny cut takes longer to heal. Your arms and hands may feel thinner, drier, or more sensitive to the cold. These aren't just cosmetic changes. They're messages your body is sending about the passage of time. Why does this happen? The science is clear. As we age, the body produces less collagen, the protein that gives skin its firmness and elasticity. The fatty layer under the skin, which once acted like a cushion, becomes thinner. Blood vessels grow more fragile, and skin cells don't renew as quickly as they used to. Together, these changes mean the skin bruises more easily, heals more slowly, and feels more delicate to the touch. Doctors call this dermal atrophy, but to you it simply feels like your skin is no longer the strong shield it once was. This matters because skin is not just about appearance, it's your body's defense. When it weakens, you become more vulnerable to infections, pressure sores, or even extreme temperatures. For seniors, what looks like a small scrape can become a bigger health issue if not cared for properly. But there's hope. Even now, your skin can be supported with a little more care and attention. Daily habits matter. 4. Your appetite and digestion shift. Food is more than fuel, it's comfort, tradition, and connection. But after 70, many people notice their appetite isn't what it used to be. Meals that once brought joy may now feel like a chore. Breakfast gets skipped, lunch becomes just a snack, and dinner sits half-finished on the plate. Sometimes you feel full after only a few bites. Other times, food just doesn't taste the same. This shift isn't simply a matter of preference. It's a natural change in the body. As we age, the number of taste buds decreases, making flavors less vibrant. Stomach acid levels drop, slowing digestion and making heavier meals feel uncomfortable. The nerves that signal fullness become more sensitive, so you feel done sooner, even if you haven't eaten enough. The muscles in the digestive tract also weaken, causing slower movement of food, which leads to bloating or constipation. At first, these changes might seem minor. But over time, they can have serious effects. Eating less often means your body may not get enough protein, vitamins, or minerals. This can lead to weight loss, weaker muscles, fatigue, and even a decline in mood. Seniors already have smaller nutritional reserves, so every missed meal has a bigger impact than it once did. But here's the hopeful part, you can work with your body, not against it. Instead of 3 large meals, try eating smaller portions more often, every 3 to 4 hours. Prioritize protein-rich foods like eggs, beans, chicken, or fish, because protein helps maintain muscle strength. Add herbs, spices, and healthy oils to bring back flavor and make food enjoyable again. If chewing is difficult, softer foods like yogurt, smoothies, or soups can still deliver the nutrients you need. Don't overlook the role of environment either. Eating with others, even one friend or family member, can spark your appetite. Sharing conversation while you eat makes food more appealing. And whenever possible, try eating in natural light. Sunlight helps regulate digestion and appetite through your body's internal clock. So, if you've noticed yourself skipping meals or pushing food aside, pause and ask, am I truly eating enough to stay strong? Your appetite may shift with age, but your need for nourishment hasn't changed. 5. Your grip weakens. You don't think much about your grip until it starts slipping away. One day, it's harder to open a jar that used to twist off with ease. Another day, a grocery bag feels heavier than it should. And then the moment comes when something simple, a favorite mug, a pen, a handle, slips from your hand before you can stop it. That's when you realize, your grip is no longer what it once was. It may seem like a small inconvenience, but grip strength tells a much bigger story. Doctors often use it as one of the clearest indicators of overall vitality in older adults. In fact, studies have shown that grip strength can even predict longevity. That's because your grip isn't just about your hands, it's connected to the strength of your arms, shoulders, and the muscles throughout your body. Why does grip weaken with age? The main reason is sarcopenia, the gradual loss of muscle mass. That begins in midlife and accelerates after 70. The nerves that control fine hand movements also become less responsive, so your fingers don't react as quickly. Circulation in the hands can decline, reducing both strength and coordination. What once felt effortless now takes effort, and sometimes, despite your best willpower, the strength just isn't there. But here's the hopeful truth: your hands can be trained, even at this stage of life. Simple daily exercises can make a real difference. Squeeze a soft ball or hand gripper for a few seconds at a time. Stretch your fingers wide, hold, and release. Try lifting light weights, or even just a soup can, while curling your wrists slowly up and down. These movements awaken muscles that may have been resting too long. Beyond exercise, pay attention to daily habits. Use both hands when carrying heavier objects to reduce strain. Keep items you use often within easy reach to avoid unnecessary grip challenges. And if arthritis or joint stiffness is part of your struggle, warm compresses and gentle stretches before activity can help loosen the hands. 6. You start feeling the world pull away. This change doesn't come with warning signs like a bruise or a sore joint. It arrives quietly, almost unnoticed. At first, the phone rings less. A neighbor waves but doesn't stop to talk. Weeks pass without an invitation, and before you realize it, whole days slip by in silence. You may tell yourself it's just the way life goes: children are busy, friends have moved or passed on. But deep inside, you feel it, the slow pulling away of the world. Loneliness in later life is one of the most painful yet least talked about challenges after 70. And it's not just emotional. Research has shown that social isolation carries physical risks as well. Of it, and your presence still matters. 7. Your reflection starts feeling like a stranger. It often happens in an ordinary moment. You're brushing your teeth, washing your hands, or folding laundry. Then you glance at the mirror, and for a second, you pause. The person staring back looks familiar, yet somehow different. The lines are deeper, the skin softer, the posture changed. And inside, a quiet thought whispers, "Is that really me?" This experience is more common than many admit, especially after 70. It's not about vanity or wishing to be young again. It's about identity. For decades, your mind has carried a picture of how you look, a version of yourself frozen in memory. But as the face in the mirror changes faster than that mental picture, a gap forms between how you feel inside and what you see outside. That gap can leave you feeling distant from your own reflection, as if you've become a stranger to yourself. Science has an explanation. The brain tends to hold on to earlier images of our bodies. When new visual input doesn't match, it creates a strange sense of disconnect. Add to that the physical changes of aging, looser skin, softer muscles, shifting posture, and it can feel like time has redrawn your face with a heavier hand. But beneath that science lies something deeply human, a quiet grief for the familiar features that carried you through life. Here's the important truth: your reflection is not your enemy. It's the current chapter of the same person who has endured, loved, built, and survived. Every line tells a story, of laughter, of loss, of effort, of resilience. Instead of rushing past the mirror, try meeting it with gentleness. Light a candle when you get ready in the morning, give yourself a small smile, or place a photo of your younger self nearby, not to compare, but to remind yourself that both versions are worthy of love. This shift is not about fading. It's about transformation. You are not disappearing, you are Becoming someone deeper, someone seasoned with wisdom and strength. The mirror may show changes, but it does not erase who you are. The reflection is still you, with decades of life etched into its details. So the next time you look and feel a flicker of strangeness, pause and remind yourself, I am still here. I am still me. And that is something to honor, not fear. Now we've walked together through the 7 signs that often appear after 70, balance, skin, sleep, digestion, grip, connection, and even the way you see yourself in the mirror. Each one may arrive quietly, almost without notice, but over time they shape how you live, how you feel, and how you carry yourself into the later years of life. These changes are not punishments, and they are not something